Recently, I played a Rakdos Cool but Rude deck, and while I was editing that video, boy oh boy, the misplays were right in my face. Some of them downright embarrassing, but hey, that video is now out there. I figured why not release it? We all go through those growing pains when we pick up a new deck, and especially a new deck with a strategy that you might not be used to. But I'm here today to hopefully redeem myself playing a new version or a different version of a Cool but Rude deck. This time around is an Izzet Cool but Rude deck. So Cool but Rude is an enchantment class, 2 CMC. Whenever you attack, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Then we want to get up to level 2. Whenever you discard a card, this class deals 2 damage to each opponent. So we want to be discarding cards in various ways. So the main way, of course, is attacking in. Our deck does have some creatures that we will be attacking in with, but we have some other ways of doing that. We are playing some other enchantments. We have the Artist Talent, another 2 CMC enchantment class. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. So we want to be playing a whole bunch of non-creature spells, which we are in the deck. As you can see, Cool but Rude itself. Stormchaser's Talent is also here. We are playing Boomerang Basics so that we can either bounce our opponent's big threats or bounce back our Stormchaser's Talent most of the time to get a lot of extra value. I'm sure everyone is familiar with this strategy by now. We have a little bit more interaction with Bounce Off, Burst Lightning, and Seer. All of these things are going to be triggering the Artist Talent if it's on the field, allowing us to discard a card and then draw a card, which if we have the Cool but Rude on level 2, we will be doing a lot of extra damage to the opponent. All the while, hopefully, we have a bunch of otters on the field from our Stormchaser's Talents that are going to be getting bigger with Prowess. We have another otter in the deck, Kitsa, Otterball Elite, a 1/3 for 2 Vigilance Prowess creature. This thing will also be getting quite big when we're casting all these spells. And then after it attacks in, we can tap it to draw a card and discard a card, once again triggering our Cool but Rude. And since we are in Izzet, we have the Marauding Mako. Because we are discarding a whole bunch of stuff, we may as well be putting +1/+1 counters on a 1 CMC 1/1 Shark Pirate. There are a few other cards, some for draw, opt, of course, and finally stock up. The Artist Talent does have a level 2 for 3 mana. Non-creature spells you cast cost 1 generic less. We could get a little bit of a discount on our Cool but Rude or on our stock up, but for the most part, I think we want the Artist Talent on the field for that first level. In the lands, we are playing the basic stuff, but we do have 1 copy of Mistrise Village just in case we need to jam a spell through, and 1 copy of Quarry Mountain Monastery just to look at the top of our deck, or exile cards from the top of our deck rather, if we are in top deck mode with a lot of lands. Finally, Agnaquella, drawing some cards and discarding some cards works very well with the Cool but Rude. Over in the sideboard, we've kept it quite simple. Spell Pierce to be able to spell pierce our opponent's non-creature spells, of course. Who doesn't love this card? Soul Guide Lantern for a little bit of graveyard hate. Pyroclasm if we need to bring it in against Badger Mokub or other go-wide strategies. Tishana's Tidebinder if we need to turn off some triggered or activated abilities. And finally, Ral, Crackling Wit, probably going to be coming in against our control opponents. So that's the deck. We're going to try it out on the ladder, see if I can redeem myself and do a little bit better with this version of Cool but Rude than I did with the Rakdos one. See you over in the games. All right, Matt Wade is up first. Trying out Izzet Cool but Rude. Hoping I say cool but rude and not rude but cool. That's going to be my #1 priority in this set of games. And the #2 priority is hopefully we get some Artist Talents on the field with our Cool but Rude and start cycling through some stuff. Opening hand looks okay. We do have our lands available to us. We also have a Kitsa. Be kind of neat to see Kitsa do some cool stuff, but that might be asking for a little bit too much. The opponent has the Grand off the hop, so now I do need to opt into an opt. Do you opt into opt? Nah, I don't know. I need a Burst Lightning is what I need. Cannot leave Grand on the field. Unfortunately, Grand is hanging around. I could bounce it with the Boomerang Basics, but that feels awful. So in this case, yeah, let's just get the Kitsa on the field, and then hopefully Kitsa will at least be able to start getting in for some damage on the following turns. But I am no longer optimistic considering that the opponent is playing a Grand on turn 1, and we are kind of not finding what we need. They attack us. If I like, do I care about 1? I don't care about 1 damage. I don't want to put my Kitsa in any kind of vulnerable situation. Whoa, the bounce for the... Ooh, Matt Wade. are you running into a 0 land situation over there? Yikes. And we find kind of some money here. Is it stock up? Or is it, you know what, let's just put these on the field. Let's get them on the field. Artist talent, pump up our Kitsa, put the artist, Stormchaser talent as well out. We get 2 talents. This time around, we will cycle 1 of the talents. I don't think we need 2. And a bounce off is going to be kind of good maybe for future things. Get in for 3 damage, and I played a land. I don't think I want to tap my Kitsa to cycle anything. We'll see what the opponent does if they end up finding a land or continuing to get land screwed. We definitely want to find that cool but rude, so maybe the stock up on the following turn will be the ideal thing for us to do. They throw out Gran. They still didn't find their land. Ouch. All right, we're going to stock up. Hopefully we'll find an untapped blue source. Decline. We find an untapped blue source. We also find a burst lightning, so we can actually just grab the steam vents, grab the burst lightning. I think we murder the Gran, and that's probably going to force the opponent into a concede. I don't imagine that they're going to be pretty cool dealing with this situation. Yeah, the getting stuck on 1 land, pretty much a non-game because of that situation. Now, what are we bringing in? I think probably, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what Demir Lessons is. So I think probably though Spell Snare might be okay. I also think Spell Pierce might be pretty good against them. Maybe we can snipe out, you know, a Monument or some of their own artist talents and so forth. I don't feel like Bounce Off is going to be overly valuable in this matchup, and I also kind of feel a little bit lukewarm about Kitsa. So we'll take out 1 Kitsa. I think we'll take out 1 Seer as well. No, let's get rid of a Mako, and we'll try like that. We definitely want to try to find Cool but Rude and Artist Talent at the same time, because we want to be getting that like chain combo situation going off where both of them are just firing off things. Cool but Rude this time around, and we do have the Spell Snare on the draw with Spell Snare. I like it a lot. So we'll put out our island and then hold up the Spell Snare to hopefully get whatever they put on the field here, or try to put on the field here. They do have 2 mana. And it, oh, hang on. Let's do this so it saves our Cool but Rude, because the Cool but Rude is so important to our overall game plan. I think probably we need to do it that way. We'll save a little bit of life. I don't know how aggressive the opponent is. We'll put that out. Next turn, starting town probably, and then go from there. Gran. Seer finding the backside of Gran is that's better than the starting town. So starting town probably is going to get cycled at some point. And let's smoke Gran. I don't think you can ever really leave a Gran on the field. It's just such a powerful card. Stormchaser's talent as a follow-up, putting a very vulnerable Otter on the field. But if we use the discard 2 cards, oh man, it would have been pretty cool to be able to have Cool but Rude up to level 2 for that. All right, let's do that. And I do like the Quarry Mountain Monastery. I think I am going to play it out, and I'm also going to bounce the Boomerang basic before attacks, just to get something that I can discard. Okay, that's fine. Did I mistap my mana there somewhere? Probably. I feel like I could have probably kept a blue source up. Maybe not. Another Gran to the field, so stock up probably going to be pretty valuable here. We'll try to find another way of dealing with Gran. If we can get her off the field one more time, we'll be in good shape. They have a Quench, though. Do I really want to... Am I really worried about Gran? No. Let's just attack. And I don't really want to throw away my Boomerang basics. I think it's probably better to just have it in hand. If they discard it or make us discard it, that's going to be kind of sucky if they have like another Ozai's Cruelty or whatever this is. Dai Li Indoctrination. Oh, that's a cool card. I realize what it is now. At worst case scenario, we can gamble. Maybe try to find something that gets our engine going, but they do have Grand active and swinging big old granny power at us. Gonna be discarding. Hopefully, well, they're throwing away lands now, so that's weird. Hopefully this Boomerang basic stays in our hands so that we can get the Stormchaser's talent bouncing back and forth, and then hopefully find a card that we can freely discard with the Cool but Rude. Okay, dang. So they did get us with, oh, they choose not to. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land permanent card. Oh, it has to be a permanent. So we are probably in pretty good shape here to not necessarily win on this turn, but we're going to do a ton of damage and probably set ourselves up for a future win. I think I'm going to opt. We have a lot of... Our mana's a little bit pinched. This gives me the ability to put out the Stormchaser's talent. I think it's fine to do that. So we'll put that onto the field. We'll put this onto the field. We'll pump them up to 4/4s. That's... we're one... No, we have lethal. No. We're 1 damage short of lethal. Unfortunately. Boom, boom. And I could pump up the Rude but Cool. Cool but Rude. See, I messed it up. But I think probably we'll pass it back to the opponent. I don't think there's any world where they can kill me in this position. If I can fire off this stock up next turn, we should be fine. Accumulate Wisdom for 1. Very fair card. Draw 3. Why didn't I bring in Graveyard Hate against a Lessons deck? I probably should have done that, right? Momentum Breaker for 1. Also not so bad for the opponent, but they are down to 1 blue source. I think they still have a land drop, so they could probably have another black source, but we'll see. Okay, that's fine. If that's how they're spending their turn, I think we probably got them. So a little bit... Ooh! Spoke too soon. Still, that's not good enough. Now they're stuck or down to a demolition field. It's fine. All right. So do we just do this? Grab... I suppose I grab like Burst Lightning and hope it doesn't get discarded. And if it does get discarded, we just attack in and we do it one more time. So there we go. We find a win. Matt Wade, though, having some rough draws in the first and even in the second game. Next one, Goth Seer AJ. Okay. That probably means something, and I'm too stupid to know what it means. Ooh, do you trust Opt to find you your second land? It's such a risky keep, right? We have our artist talent, so if we do get this on the field, we can cycle into some good stuff, but this is such a risky keep. Oh man. It's so foolish. I don't even, if I knew what the opponent was on, like these Burst Lightnings and Seer could represent so much potential for us if they're playing. Well, hey, there we are. Not punished. So let's go out with the Marauding Mako, and I don't know what this means. This could be like the Boros tokens aggro list. It's not. It's an Uncle Iroh list. Maybe. Maybe. So let's put the artist talent out, and then we are just desperate for a Cool but Rude. Once we find the Cool but Rude, we can start just go into town against the... All right. That's fine. That's fine. Should I have opted there? Maybe I really wonder. Opt into try to find the third land drop. Could have been better. Sure, opponent. I mean, I get it. You are threatened by our artist talent. We have so much talent over here that you feel the need to do everything in your power to defeat us. Opt into something great. Burst Lightning, already got 2. We don't need another one. And a Starting Town, also not great. And a Spire Bluff Canal, all not great. Yeah. Uh-oh. All right, so I am still assuming that this is an Uncle Iroh list, but maybe this is like some weird Mardu burn list. Like, this is kind of cool, whatever the opponent's doing. Yikes. return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand if you control that permanent. So I could bounce my map, right? That seems a little bit desperate, though. We'll see one more draw. I have no idea what the opponent could possibly be playing, and I am terrified. We already got a Boomerang basic. We need to find... yeah, sure. But do they have the inevitable defeat? Let's try to bait them. We'll put this map token on the Otter. We find our land drop. That's not bad. Let's do it again. I feel like the opponent's probably aware enough to know, like, Boomerang basics on the Stormchaser's talent, something that we want to be doing. And I have a feeling that they're going to react to that and destroy our Stormchaser's talent. And I don't think I'm brave enough to fire off this Boomerang basics right now. Might be in the position where I start loading up these and start kicking them. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we kill it. They don't have anything, so, and they're kind of tapped out. So we can definitely do our Boomerang basic Stormchaser's talent shenanigans now. Find a stock up. That's fine. They say nice. We find the cool but rude. That's what we needed. Do we also need more lands? Do we need a seer? So they're gonna have a Bloodthirsty Conqueror, probably. Bloodthirsty Conqueror we cannot kill because it's 5 toughness. We can do 4 damage to a lot of things. So I'm kind of starting to think that the Agnaquella here might be the better card. Agnaquella? How do you say that? All right, cool but rude out, and now we need to find one of our 2. We have 2 more artist talents in the deck, and that's what we need to find. We need to get those back. So, Stormchaser's talent to the field. They seem not to have anything. So I think I'm okay just kind of loading up the field with some Otters, with some cool but rudes, using my mana while I can. I am going to do this right now, and I might be in the position where I have to gamble next turn with the cool but rude. And if we can do like a pretty good burst of damage, that's fine. We don't really care. We don't care about our graveyard whatsoever. We do. That's not true. We do care about it because of Stormchaser's talent. Ouch. All right. You got it. We get more map tokens though, so that's fun. Stock up is probably a better... what's a better way to find the artist talent? Gambling? Gambling never goes poorly, right? Never, ever has it ever gone poorly. Please don't go poorly. Okay, Burst Lightning. That's what we wanted to see. So let's do that. Let's... yeah, this way. I'm not feeling too threatened. We have enough land, so I think all these lands that we might be drawing... ooh, we're going to keep another one on top, I think. And we attack in. Let's throw away that. Grab the artist talent that we left on the top of our library. And I'm... this bounce off, I think, is the card that's going to... oh, boy. Suddenly, I don't feel so safe. I don't feel so good anymore. Did not see Oog and Eye of the Storm coming. Whoa! I don't... was that the right play? Okay, what else can they do? They can gain some life, draw a card, and they hit us for 3. But, okay, so this is doing 2 damage every time I play a spell. So I think what I do is I do put out the artist talent, and I don't cycle anything right now. So then what I do, okay, let's be smart about this. I can't afford to level this all the way up. So this is going to represent 2, 4, 6 damage, 12. Bounce off, I can't bounce anything off. I can stock up. Let's start with stocking up, actually. Bounce off, I no longer care about. That's fine. That's good. Opt is good. Cool but rude is another card. It starts doing more damage. I don't think I played a land for the turn. So I can probably grab this land. Have I played a land? No. Okay. So if I put out this... Why did I put this out? I shouldn't have put this out. I didn't need to. Is it... I can't put this out and level it up on time. It's not worth grabbing. Maybe I shouldn't have grabbed it. Okay. Opt. You know what? It's discard fodder. Okay. I think we're all in on this idea of just discarding things and just putting damage on the face. That's not a good card. The bounce off is not great. So it's another card that we're going to have to try to cycle away. Cycle. Cool but rude. Fine. We'll keep it. Marauding Mako, not what I want, right? So we do this one more time. We need a 1 CMC spell that we can cast. They say good game. Boomerang basics. I believe that is the game because we can do this. What? Should have bounced the Eye of Ugin, right? Whoa! And that's what you want to see with this deck. That's a whole lot of fun, right? You just kind of lock your opponent into... I don't know. They didn't get locked to anything. We just had like a combo. Neat. Combo's kind of fun. Spell Pierce, probably going to be okay in this matchup. And how good is Ral? What can this hit? Anything? Non-land permanent. Non-land permanent. Very fair. I still think it might be okay to bring in the Tishana's Tidebinders. We'll get rid of the Kitsa. I don't think Kitsa is going to be very good. It's just going to sit there and die, isn't it? And I don't think the bounce offs are going to do it. Like, I don't know what their combo is. They seem like they have some kind of combo with this card here. People don't just play Enduring Tenacity for no reason, right? There's always some reason for it. I also kind of think Spell Snare is not such a bad card in this matchup because they have Lightning Helix, they have Get Lost, Shoot the Sheriff, Strategic Betrayal. Like all of these cards, if we can counter them, that's going to be pretty good counters, right? Seer seems mid. I don't know. If I leave, though, the thing is, if I take out all my removal, then I can't do anything about the Enduring Tenacity. So the Enduring Tenacity is just kind of like this little annoying thing that I can't really handle very well. So is it actually better just to cut the Marauding Makos, bring in the Seers? These cards are so vulnerable anyways, right? And just hope that I'm going to be able to bounce things or... Yeah. Okay, we'll try something like this. Maybe Ral should have come in as well. Maybe I'll bring in Ral for game number 3 if we make it to game number 3. They have the inevitable defeat. They have the Get Lost to get rid of it, but maybe it's okay. Do you believe? Do you believe that this opt can save my behind? It's such a good hand. If I had just one more land. Content keep. Content keep. I gotta prove that good guys never get punished around here. Over here at AbojiiMTG, we are playing honest Magic, never punished. Not once in my entire life have I been punished keeping a 1-land hand. Whoa, we find more lands. Yeah, keep them. So let's go a little bit slowly. We could throw out the Rude, but I probably should have just done Steam Vents. Yeah, no. we want to stop something. The Spell Pierce is going to get a ton of value right now. Yay. Okay, Rude but Cool onto the field. Let's play some mind games. Shock in the Steam Vents, presenting our second Spell Pierce. Ooh, they kind of played around the second Spell Pierce, I suppose, but that's a bad card for us because we cannot deal with it in any capacity. We can bounce it, but then they just replay it. So unless we're kind of going for like a combo at the moment, like at that very specific moment, there's no point in even bouncing that thing. Let's get the Stormchaser's talent onto the field and then hopefully Boomerang basics it back on the following turn. Do you have the interaction for it? No, okay. Kind of felt like they did. They might have the Get Lost. Okay, they do. Ouch. So I'd rather them hit that than the artist talent, I suppose. Do they have the hex as well? Ooh, opponent brought every piece of interaction, but they are now down to just 3 cards. Hopefully some of them are lands. Unholy Annex, not good. But you know what? If they end up making a demon, we can bounce it. And that means the Unholy Annex might just like murder them. I don't think this deck is going to be playing a ton. Give him the old side eye there. I don't think this deck is going to be playing a ton of demons. I imagine this is like one of those decks that just jams an Unholy Annex for the sake of putting an Unholy Annex in the deck. And that's fine. But now they have kind of a clock on themselves. And I'm kind of hoping they spend this turn putting out a shock land and a demon. Oh, they have that demon. Oh, I see. I hate this. I kind of like it, but I also hate that card. So why didn't I spell pierce? Oh, no. Oh, it's not spell pierce, it's spell snare. That's right. Oh, that's too bad. So now we're super cooked, right? Okay. At least I get to put the Stormchaser's talent on the field. I get to crack these maps to get a little bit of value out of them. Hopefully they don't have a hex. Okay. Do it again. Cool but rude. Good with me. I think we are going to draw the Cool but rude. And I am also going to put it onto the field this turn. The problem is the opponent probably is able to kill our otter. Maybe they even have a way of dealing with our Cool but rude. And the Marauding Mako, a little bit of an upside against that Shoot the Sheriff, right? Man, how much interaction did they bring in for our... They are just fully ready for our deck, aren't they? And my only hope is that they overplay and that they load up the Furdock core and they turn it into a creature I can sear it. That's like literally my only hope. Okay, let's level this up and grab Stock Up for the future. Maybe it was Spell... was it Spell Pierce there? It might have been Spell Pierce. More requiting hexes. So I'm kind of hoping that they use this turn to turn on the Ritual Chamber. If they do that, we get an easy bounce off, and then maybe the Furdock core, again, they make it vulnerable. Maybe we can get it. Yep. Wow, this opponent has my number in spades. Like they know everything. Like I feel like their entire sideboard and probably main board was kind of set up to blast our deck, wasn't it? You know, our very meta defining deck. Well, we get to I guess we do this. Why not? There's literally no point in continuing, I think, at this point. We don't have the Cool but rudes to do damage. I don't think even if I get more Stormchaser's talents bouncing back and forth, I'm going to have enough damage to do anything. So probably I'm just dead, right? I just died to the Unholy Annex repeatedly pinging me for 2. I'm still just kind of like hoping that the opponent messes up somehow. It's crazy how well all of their spells in their deck interact with us. All right, 2 more damage. We're gonna see, I think, just 1 or 2 more cards here, and then, I mean, the artist talent's good, but again, I need them to turn on the Furdock core. Okay, we'll go to game 3. What can I do about the core other than making sure that I have the Spell Pierce for the core at the very moment that they play out the core? Is Ral actually going to do anything, or are they just going to smoke the Ral? Like, they have so much stuff for it, but if they're using that stuff on the Ral, I mean, yeah, maybe the Tishanas are bad. maybe the Tishana's bad. Okay. Yikes. This opponent, full on Mardu control, tuned ever so perfectly to deal with our 2 CMC and cheaper enchantments. We're going to try this one because we can at least go turn 1 Stormchaser's Talent into Boomerang Basics on 2 and try to get a little bit of extra value there, hopefully before they're able to blow up our stuff. That's the plan. All right. Hey, Ral Crackling Wit on turn number 4 is not going to be too bad. And a stock up on 3 is also not the worst. It might be an Artist Talent instead, but they now have 2 otters on the field that they also need to deal with, along with the stuff that we're going to keep going out with. So maybe we're in okay shape. And then Ral just keeps putting out even more otters. Sure. So is it a stock up turn or is it an Artist Talent turn? Artist Talent doesn't do anything. Stock up. We find Cool but Rude and a Spell Pierce. That seems okay. I think that's probably better than other choices. If we can end up blank, obviously they have inevitable defeat. That's going to make things a little bit tricky, but they do have a lot of things like Get Lost in that we might be able to sneak through the cracks. Another Lightning Helix though. Are they stuck on 2 mana? No, they had a tap land. So I think putting out the Ral right now might be a little bit too vulnerable. So it kind of feels like it might be Artist Talent into Hold Up Spell Pierce, or is it? Yeah. Is it Cool but Rude, or because if they have the Seam Rip, the Spell Pierce doesn't do anything. If they have the Inevitable Defeat, it doesn't do anything. If they have a land plus Get Lost, it doesn't do anything. So I think probably it's Cool but Rude. I need to find a 5th land, maybe? No, okay, fine. So we have lots of targets on the field for the opponent to have to deal with. We'll see. There's a land. Ouch. Inevitable Defeat incoming on the Cool but Rude. No, it's a Get Lost. Do they have double Get Lost? Oh, no. Okay, they don't. Okay, mama. All right, I think it's a stock up turn. Oh, man, I like all these cards. I'm going to decline the discard there. And we got a second Ral, a second Spell Pierce. I don't think the Spell Pierce is giving us a lot of value. Definitely grab 1 land. A second Ral could be good. Also, is this even going to be doing anything for us? No. So I think it's got to be maybe the Spell Pierce. Put this out untapped. We'll put out the Stormchaser's Talent just to get something on the field. I could throw away the Spell Pierce, but maybe I get into a battle in the future over this Ral. And I'm not going to crack the map. What do you got for me? They got something. I shoot the Sheriff. I think it's fine. I think I need to keep threats on the field. So by doing this, it's going to focus their attention on that otter. Maybe it gives me a chance to get this Ral on the field and then hold up the Spell Pierce. Oh, the Furdock Core, man. Okay. And the Unholy Annex. Oh, man, what a disaster. It's such an uninteractable combination of cards. But, okay, Ral Crackling Wit to the field. Decline. I still think our cards in hand are probably better than everything else. And then we'll just make an otter. Do I want to just crack a map? Or do I want to hold up the Spell Pierce? 6, they could have Ugin. So if they have the Ugin, I need the Spell Pierce for the 7 mana Ugin, right? It's 7 mana, not 8 mana. It should be 8, but it's 7. It's another Furdock Core. Well, I mean, 1 Furdock Core, 2 Furdock Cores. What does it really matter? High Noon. They can pay for the High Noon, so what does it matter? Or they can pay for the Spell Pierce, rather. So now we are kind of in a weird spot where I have to kind of fire off spells now ineffectively. Boomerang Basics, okay.
And we lose 2 life. Well, Cool But Rude. So Cool But Rude will be my spell for the turn, but I can actually put mana into it. And then also still hold up the Spell Pierce. So that's a thing. I think we do it this way. Make another Otter. And hope that... Oh, do I want to do that? Did I level it up? I did level it up. So I could do 2 points of damage here. Yeah, you know what? The Boomerang basic, discard it because we're so pinched with this high noon on the board that I don't think it is going to be able to... we're not going to be able to cast out all of our Boomerang basics. There's the Eye of the Ugin. Eye of the Ugin, sure. So what are they targeting with this? Poor Ral. But you know what? Ral going down is fine. And we discard that. 2 damage to the dome. Boom. They get rid of our Ral, but that's okay. Focus was on the Ral. They gain life though. That's the problem. Let's try to find a little bit more damage with Spell Snare. Probably not good enough. Maybe I should have kept it on top so I would have known that I could have gotten another +1/+1 count. Ooh, okay. That's really good, right? Is that lethal? Is that lethal? 2 damage up top, boom. Oh, we find a way through all of their interaction. What an insane game, actually. Woo! Rao, Crackling Wit, really impressing me here. Really, the reason we ended up winning this game in the end. He was able to pump out a bunch of Otters, made Ugin focus on him, and who knew that Ugin should have smoked the pizza in the face rather than the Planeswalker that was up to 9 loyalty. Although, leaving the Ral alone, getting up to 9, we would have... I mean, well, maybe we could have got up here. Draw 3 cards, then get an emblem. Instant sorcery spells you cast have Storm. Not so threatening when you have a high noon on the board. Some interesting matches today already. This is going to be the 3rd and final match. And we get to play first. Always love to see that. And, oh, yeah. Opening hand looks good. We got a little bit lucky with this Cool But Rude and Stormchaser's Talent plus Boomerang Basics. Who doesn't love seeing Boomerang Basics and Stormchaser's Talent in your opponent's hand, right? I think probably what we're going to do is we are going to try to get this Otter up to 2 and put the Cool But Rude on the field and try to get it going as soon as possible. I don't know what Swamp means from the opponent, but hey, every good player who is playing with Swamps is packing a full 16 copies of Requiting Hex, as is required by the rulebook. If you haven't read your rulebook, you should. Right? It sure seems that way, doesn't it? It sure does seem that way. Says the guy who was lucky enough to have a Stormchaser's Talent and a Boomerang Basic in his opening hand. I know, hypocritical all the time. Listen, when I do it, it's fair. When the opponent does it, it's BS. That's how it works. Just how it works. I didn't make the rules. That's just the way they were written. I think we are gonna kind of take a little bit of damage here. I do want to put everything on the field and kind of hope to be able to get something going on the following turn. We do need a repeatable discard source. We do have Kitsa now, but until our creatures can start attacking in, this Cool But Rude is not going to be getting any value. Stock up from the opponent, that's some good news for us because that means they might be a little bit slow. And if they don't find another Requiting Hex for the Kitsa, we could be in some good shape. Look, the little otter behind Kitsa. Oh, and that's so sweet. Oh, it's so good, right? Like, amazingly good. Let's put out the Stormchaser's Talent. Get rid of the Seer. I don't think the Seer is really going to do much for me. Discard a card. Boom, boom. Make another Otter. How greedy do I want to be? Do I want to also fire this off? I think I do. Let's try to put maximum damage on the opponent's face. Find me like an opt or something like that. That'd be real swell. No, okay, land, fine. That's okay. We still have time to draw something real good here because we do have Kitsa and we do have this discard here. Okay, yeah, sure. That's fine. Let's discard a card here. Boomerang basics. How much damage do I have? So this is going to trigger something that's, I think I actually, if I bounce off this otter, I think I win in that spot. And I know they didn't have any interaction the way it was passing, so we kind of just ran over the opponent. I don't know what they're doing. Fighting Hex, stock up, stock up. What does that mean? Probably means Spell Snare and Spell Pierce. Going to be okay. Ral, Crackling Wit, the hero of our previous game, might be kind of good. Seer, you take it out, but you're probably going to regret taking it out because the opponent, as soon as you take it out, the opponent's going to slam down a Bloodletter of Aclazots and you're going to be like, ah, and be all sad about things. We'll trim one of those. We'll trim one Kitsa. We'll trim one Marauding Mako, maybe even two Marauding Makos. And we have a ton of interaction. I think probably we can go down one more bounce off. Okay. Again, I have no idea what the opponent is actually up to, so it's a little bit hard to gauge what I should be doing in this position. Hitting my desk, sorry. Trying to keep my recording sounds a little bit lower, but you move around a little bit. I realized that some of the shirts that I was wearing, when I move in them, they like or make sounds because they're I don't know, they're like windbreakers. So that material rustles every time I move. I kind of try not to do that. Ooh, okay, so they're gonna bounce our. Oh, okay. I think I am kind of fine with that, right? Let's just jam the cool but rude and hope that we find the artist talent. If we find the artist talent, then we can start doing the cool stuff. A Winter Night Store. Oh, okay. So this is just the Doomsday Excruciator deck, which maybe I don't know why my brain doesn't like automatically trigger and say, hey, this is Doomsday Excruciator deck, because it's so obvious that it not so obvious, but it should be kind of obvious that it is, in fact, the Doomsday Excruciator deck. I don't think Spell Pierce is going to be great in this matchup. I don't think Bounce Off is going to be overly great in this matchup either, but the 5 cards that I had available to me were kind of bad. So we'll try it. Ooh, they get stuck on mana. That's kind of good, especially if we're sitting here with Spell Pierces. Cool but rude. We already... How many cool but rudes do you need? And I say all of them? Or do I need just... Is it so greedy to take 3? It's so greedy, right? Let's get a Burst Lightning. Cool but rudes. Let's load up on... We can discard them anyways. We can discard them later. It's fine. We'll pass the turn to the opponent. We'll hold up our Spell Pierce just in case they, throw out like a Winter Night Story or something like that. I think we can probably pay the mana for that. What are we getting here? What are we getting? Do they have something in the graveyard? Oh, it's just Deceit. Yeah, okay. That's right. Did I have an opportunity to grab a Seer? So I shouldn't have taken the Seer out of my deck. That's a thing. Okie doke. So they bounce that. They're going to see 3 cool but rudes, and they're going to say, well, I guess we'll take the Spell Pierce. I don't know. What do you take here if you're the opponent? I think if you're the opponent, you're probably like, okay, I'm in an okay spot here. I'm not too threatened by the opponent's hand now that I have a Kavaro Deceit on the field. We'll call it a Kavaro Seat. Let's put out our... Are we going to put out both of these? I think I'm so toast here. Because, like, really, what am I going to do? I brought in the wrong cards for this matchup. This Doomsday Excruciator deck just slams me because I just don't know how to play against it. It always messes me up. I'll fully admit that. I am too much of a noob to know how to deal with it. Harvester of Misery. Yep, that'll be pretty good against some otters if we ever get there. Let's stop that. It's the best value I'm gonna get, right? We still don't have a way of discarding outside of gambling into an artist talent. And never in my life has gambling into an artist talent gone badly. Okay. Let's get it on the field. We don't have a spell snare. They have the annul. Okay, so the opponent knew what we were doing. And that sucks. So I guess, you know, worst case scenario, next turn we do the same thing with the Cool But Rude number 2. And we try to find another artist talent. And at the very least, we're going to be doming them for 4. And if we end up having the artist talent in hand at the end of the gamble, then we can throw that out and then maybe do some cool stuff. I don't really care about getting hit for 4 damage here, unless they mill all my artist talents. That would suck. Nope, 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 nope. Okay. So we got a plan. I'm a man with a plan. We don't need to play out a land yet. We're straight up gambling for the artist talent. Number 2, never fails. Okay. Boom, boom. We'll play out the artist talent now because I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't matter. We do this. We're tapped out on mana. Boom. Hey, Cool But Rude, number 2. And I think what we're just praying for now is that the opponent doesn't have a way of dealing with our artist talent. If they don't have a way of dealing with the artist talent, probably we can win. If they just like load up the Restless Reef and attack in for 8, it's so fine. Them gaining 2 life here, irrelevant. Attacking in for 8, irrelevant. We're fine, I think. Duress, yes, thank you. Are you sure? Are you sure? Our opponent? Cool. That is cool. That's not rude. It's just straight up cool. Stormchaser's talent proving to be one of the best cards. What do we grab? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. Taking down a Kavaro list. Love to see it. Even though we sideboarded incorrectly there, still able to deal with what they were doing. To be fair, they didn't have a whole lot of interaction for us, so I think we did get lucky in this matchup in the end. They did kind of seem to flood out, so, but I'll count my lucky stars. All right, so this Izzet Rude list proving itself to be pretty good. However, I will say I do think that the Rakdos Cool But Rude deck is just like superior on all merits compared to this list. This list is probably only better in fun factor. Both decks are fun to play, but I do prefer this one a little bit more. When you can get artist talent on the field in Cool But Rude and you're just casting a whole bunch of cantrips and getting so much extra value, so much fun to be able to just ping your opponent 2 damage, 2 damage, 2 damage, 2 damage. And if you ever do live the dream where you get your artist talent up to level 3 and you're dealing 4 damage each time, it feels so fun to do. It's happened to me just once. It is magical Christmas land, but it does occasionally happen. Overall though, I think the deck is a whole lot of fun and I hope I achieved my goal today. My goal was playing 3 games and not looking like the most incompetent person. However, I will say when I played that Rakdos Cool But Rude deck, I thought after recording it, I was like, yeah, that went pretty well, except for the last 2 games, but the opponents, you know, kind of had a lot of the good answers against us. But those first 2 games, and then when I was editing those first 2 games, I was like, what are you doing, man? Hopefully, when I go to edit this Izzet Rude deck, I'm not going to run into a similar thing. I'm hopefully going to be a little bit proud of this little guy, be like, hey, man, you found the lines that were available to you, hopefully. But if I didn't find the correct lines and you saw those lines, do let me know down in the comments. I do appreciate that all the time. And hey, if you made it to the end of the video, sub up, like the video, leave a comment down below. I haven't been saying that in my videos lately. I've been kind of cutting that little spiel and I think it's fine. But if you did make it through 50+ minutes of me blathering about and you haven't subbed up yet, do me a favor, help the channel out, sub up, and more importantly, leave a comment down below. I love seeing all the comments that do end up rolling in on all of these videos. That's it for this one. Take care, all you wonderful people. Sarangi ipana, and I'll catch all of you in the next one. Bye-bye.